just run a test in the editor right here, and I've given each of these lines 2 groups plus the moving group 9, which locks it to the x-axis like this. And I have a rotation trigger and a rotation trigger that starts halfway through the other one. First one is around this point, the second one is around this point. I kind of like how they shimmy towards me. They go really far because they're still technically rotating around this one. They're moving further away from point 1 as they're in their rotation around point 2, and I really like the setup that I've got. What I'm doing is just scaling a copy down like this, moving it to a different spot ever so slightly, like with mini spaces, not even half spaces at this point. And I gotta give it 2 new groups, so 10 and 11. And the reason I'm giving it 2 groups, you cannot have 2 rotations at the same time on one group. It will cancel. So look, if I put 3 on this one, and you spot this one, it stops, right? It stops rotating around this one, and it starts just trying to go around the bottom, and it ruins itself. So I'm using 2 groups for each line. I think if I do this right, it could be worth it. What if I then just copy paste and move it up just so I can differentiate? Build helper. Build helper is kind of weird with rotation triggers, and you'll find that it just creates new centers every time, which isn't what you want. And I can probably just scale these down, maybe flip them, give them a slightly different starting point, and then just put them on a different editor layer. Kind of layers the movement, and we have a cool little effect. And the more of these we have, by the way, the more that we can just exponentially build them. So here is like 20 minutes of my life spent just making smaller and faster versions to go alongside them. That's pretty much all I did. So there's a lot of objects here, obviously. Okay, let's check it out in normal mode. They should sweep on and then rotate down and right off of the screen. There's a couple of gaps there, but I think it looks pretty cool.